Would you know if someone told you a great big lie? Would you?
No.
Well, what if I told you that everything that you have been taught, everything that you know to this point in your life is a lie? Jesus tells us that in His Word, in the Bible. He says the world is full of liars. And He's not too impressed with those who lie. As a matter of fact, in His Father's house, He turned over tables and drove those who were deceiving many out of there. I tell you that to tell you this. The most radical planetary change is about to happen on this earth. In fact, it's so radical and so all-encompassing that most people are going to have a great deal of difficulty processing this transformation of life as we now know it. And what makes this event so unique are the genetic, scientific mind control, surveillance, and related technologies which have never ever in recorded history before been at man's disposal. There is a climate summit ongoing in France, in Paris, until the end of the year. It's called Paris 2015. This is a United Nations initiative. Pope Francis backed that on his recent tour. He was talking climate change, if you remember. What this is the largest diplomatic conference to ever take place in Paris. Over 40,000 participants, and on the surface they say this is to produce a binding agreement obligating every nation on planet Earth to climate goals in order to hold global warming to less than 2 degrees Celsius annually. Liars. They're trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. Global warming is a lie. What this is all about, this climate conference that you're going to be hearing more about in your mainstream news, is the most serious attempt to install through covert means a permanent world government. It is the final stage of the New World Order plan, which is going to transition individual men and women into this hive mind, this world brain mentality. This is the modern day version of the Tower of Babel. The world since time began has been ruled by a cult. But it's no ordinary cult. This is a cult composed of elite. The world's wealthiest families, scientists, intellectuals, highly placed government officials, prime ministers, presidents, and they all have occult knowledge, technology, science, and supernatural power that was in place and enforced and working in Babylon. And it's been passed on from civilization to civilization through secret societies. And they're not so secret anymore. And blowing their cover. These secret societies just changed their names. However, they are the organizational structures for rebuilding Babylon in these modern times. Groups like Skull and Bones, Illuminati, Golden Dawn, Bohemian Grove, the Bilderberg Group, and numerous others. They form a global network ruled by an elite, and this network has continued throughout all the great empires of earth. It started in Babylon, moved to Egypt, on to Greece, on to Rome, into Europe, into the EU, and it infiltrated the Western world, predominantly set up in the United States, and ancient empires as well, like ancient Tibet and China and India, the Incan and Mayan empires, all had access to this complete knowledge, the supernatural occult knowledge. Now, many people whom you might think that do have access to this secret knowledge, people like highly placed government officials, prime ministers, kings, queens, CEOs of transnational corporations, high-level filmmakers, university professors, they are actually controlled through programming, and they're only given a very certain small level of knowledge. But what lies behind all of this is a brutal cruelty, like the SS troops and the Third Reich. Adolf Hitler and the Third Reich was not some kind of accident of history. It was a pre-planned prototype of the scientific dictatorship that currently is in society controlling us. The Third Reich was a DNA and mind control cult, ruled by an elite with occult knowledge and power. Hitler came to power in Germany because the German people, especially Christians, voted him into office. He understood the power of promoting the big lie. As a matter of fact, Mr. Hitler said that the bigger and most outrageous of these lies would easily and most quickly be received by the masses. The Nazi Party, in their platform, stated they were an environmental party. They were the beginners of the Green Movement. Well, this climate summit ongoing in Paris 2015, is really about global radical transformation and the development of a master plan to establish a green world dictatorship whose goal is to dramatically reduce the world's population through sterilization, through abortion, the promotion of alternative sexual lifestyles, not including and involving reproduction, ruthless cutting back on food production, the creation of wars, famines, plagues, and man-made food and water shortages. As we're recording this, Paris is in the news headlines for all the wrong reasons. They're going to be making more in the upcoming weeks ahead until the end of the year. This Paris 2015 conference is intended to enforce the most binding climate control goals, which requires, guess what? Setting up a global dictatorship to enforce them. So don't be fooled by what you hear and see on your news outlets as to what they're saying in this conference, because they're lying to you. The big lie. But don't get into fear, don't get into panic. Remember what Jesus told us in John 14:27. He said, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." So who do you believe? Jesus or the big lie? We are freedomtruthseekers.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving us a like. See you back here soon.